This is a prime multi-use development property, corner of Wessels Road, 12th Avenue and Stiglingh Road, Rivonia. The subject property comprises 3 urban that have zoning approval as follows. Proposed portion 1 of Earth 291 Edinburgh, currently remainder of Earth 166 Edinburgh, measuring 64,892 square meters, is zoned Business 4. Although the zoning currently stipulates that the FAR must not exceed 1,120 square meters, this was applicable to the previous well-known restaurant, Harrison's, that was run from the property. In terms of the Rivonia SDF, the property falls into Zone 1B, which allows for a FAR of 2.4 and a height of 4 stories. The above portion is subject to a servitude of 10.65 meters wide for road widening purposes along 12th Avenue, 3.7 meter wide along Wessels Road, and a 5 meter by 5 meter splay at the intersection of 12th Avenue and Wessels Road in favor of the local authority. The property is also subject to a 5 meter wide building line along all boundaries. Access to this portion is from Wessels Road. Proposed portion 2 of Earth 291 Edinburgh, which is currently remainder of Earth 167 and portion 1 of Earth 167, measuring 7,387 square meters, is zoned as Residential 4. The zoning allows for a density of 80 units per hectare, which allows for 59 units, or a maximum of 82 rooms for a hotel. The height is restricted to 3 stories and a coverage of 50%. The above portion is subject to a servitude of 10.65 meter wide for road widening purposes along 12th Avenue, 1.7 meter wide along Stiglingh Road. The property is also subject to a 5 meter wide building line along 12th Avenue and a 3 meter along all other boundaries. Access to this portion is from Stiglingh Road. There is a notarial tie agreement between the remainder of Earth 166 and remainder of Earth 167. Diagrams reflecting the water and sewage reticulation layout and stormwater management layout are available on request, as well as approvals from the various departments for the subdivision and simultaneous consolidation. It is anticipated that the Council will support rezoning of the Business 4 site Portion 1 to Residential 4 with an FAR of 2 or 2.4 or equivalent density and height restriction of 4 stories. The Rivonia node boundary is mid-block between Wessels and Stiglingh Road. In terms of the BRT policy, east of Wessels Road to mid-block is placed in Zone 1B, which is mixed uses up to FAR of 2.4 and height of 4 stories. West of Stiglingh Road to mid-block falls within Zone 5 or 20 units a hectare. However, as it abuts a regional node, a density of up to 80 units per hectare may be supported. It remains the responsibility of the purchaser to investigate this and to complete the subdivision and consolidation if required on transfer. There are currently 2 tower masts on the property that generate income. The Vodacom lease allows for a 20-meter techno pine tree situated on approximately 80 square meters. This lease started in December 2008 and expires on the 31st of October 2018 and escalates at CPI. Rental is paid annually at the end of November, and the payment in November 2014 amounted to 183,000 rands inclusive of VAT. The Cell C lease started in July 2002 and expired in May 2012. They are currently in the first 5-year option period. They also pay annually, and the last payment in June 2014 amounted to 218,000 rands, inclusive of VAT, which escalates at 10% annually. This lease is for a 25-meter mast. This tower currently falls within a servitude which may be utilized should the council proceed with road widening. The seller has specifically requested that they be allowed to remain in occupation of the residential house for a minimum of 60 days after the transfer date. They will pay an amount of 1,000 rand excluding VAT per day for this extended right of occupation. This will be included in the conditions of sale as a special condition, which will be payable monthly in advance. The seller will replace the 2 light fittings on the veranda, 1 light fitting in the guest toilet and 1 fitting in the lounge or breezeway. The seller may also remove a few plants from the garden, provided that the garden is not defaced. The seller will also retain ownership of all movables and containers on the property. as well as all light fittings situated on remainder of 166 and remainder 167. The seller will also be entitled to remove all elements of the installed TV and sound distribution system in the main house. Please also note that the seller will not provide an electrical compliance certificate or certificates relating to the electric fence, gas installations or plumbing, as it is anticipated that the existing structures will be demolished in order to facilitate a new development. Should these be required, they will be for the purchaser's cost. The property is superbly positioned for a high-density residential development. To the Wessels Road border, it is adjacent to an office complex, 40 Wessels Road, and it is opposite the sports fields of Rivonia Primary School and Ford Fury General Motors. 12th Avenue is a main arterial route that connects through to Woodmead and to Bryanston. On Stiglingh Avenue, the property is adjacent to a cluster development, 65 Stiglingh Road, and the Boulevard, a residential development, is opposite the site. Rivonia is a suburb of Johannesburg, South Africa, in the Sandton area. It is one of the most affluent residential and business suburbs of Johannesburg and regarded as the hub of upstart and established IT businesses. The main retail thoroughfare in the area, Rivonia Boulevard, is the location of several shopping complexes as well as many other shops and restaurants. Rivonia lies between the Braamfontein-Spruit and the Sunspruit and is the location of Liliesleaf Farm, where in 1963 many of the accused in the Rivonia treason trial were arrested. It was opened to the public in 2008 and has since attracted thousands of visitors, as well as being recognized as one of South Africa's most important heritage sites. Rivonia is also home to the famous Brown's Restaurant. Formerly a rambling old farmhouse, Brown's is a Johannesburg landmark. The spectacular restaurant boasts one of the finest wine cellars in the country, as well as offering total tranquility in its private gardens. It is possibly the first South African restaurant to introduce a French cheese room boasting over 30 varieties of international cheeses. Rivonia is situated only 30 kilometers from the Johannesburg International Oliver Tambo Airport, 2 kilometers from the N1 highway, 2 kilometers from Sunninghill, and 5 kilometers from Sandton City. This is a prime multi-use development property in the heart of Rivonia. This property will be sold on public auction on Thursday, the 28th of May in Session 1 at 12 o'clock at Summer Place, Hyde Park, Sandton.